I've got to say, I think this is a liability nightmare. You don't have any claims that you can back up, so I'm out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I'm out at this point. Like, I don't even know what is going on here, but we're going to try to break this down to the best of my ability and have a little bit of fun in the process of doing so. But before we get into all that, guys, what's up, everybody? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about how I think I'm done when it comes to this, because like this whole situation with PlayStation 5 and also with SSDs and expandable storage and fake physical and $70 games and just like all of it is just kind of all coming together at this point. And like a famous man once said, or people say, I'm out. Like, I think I'm out. But we're going to go over this. We're going to talk about it. And then we're going to discuss why I want the return. Make regular games normal again. We need this, guys, because it's getting a little bit too much. It's getting a little bit too much. But let's get into this. Seagate has confirmed its first PS5 ready SSD. And it will cost $275 for 1 terabyte. So $275 for 1 terabyte. So the data storage firm says the FireCuda, which sounds really cool, 530 will work, even though there's not much room in the PS5. But trust me, it gets better here, guys. So Seagate has confirmed that this will be the first PS5 compatible internal SSD. There will be other ones, but this is the first one that Sony's worked with them to make sure that it meets the requirements as long as you have the right tools. We'll talk about that as well. So, and it says that it only fits because of its slim design. So the Seagate FireCuda 530 NVMe M.2 PCLE Gen 4 SSD offers read speeds of up to 7,300 MBs per second, meaning it easily meets Sony's 555 megabytes per second requirement. Its slim design also means it fits into Sony's dimensional limits of internal SSDs, even with a heatsink included as per the platform holder's requirements. Wait a minute. Did you just say a heatsink? Like what? A heat? Okay. Let's continue on here, then we'll talk about that. So the FireCuda 530 with the heatsink attached will cost $169.99 for 500 gigabytes, $274.99 for 1 terabyte, $569.99 for 2 terabytes, and a whopping, or measly, depending on your situation, $1,049.99 for a 4 terabyte design. So yeah, bring out the 4 terabytes, baby. Only $1,000. Let's get it. Sony said on Thursday that it will soon be rolling out the ability for beta users to expand PS5 storage with an off-the-shelf M.2 SSD. Now, the ability to upgrade storage will be made available to beta users in the upcoming system update, but players will have to carefully follow detailed instructions to complete the process. Goodness gracious. We might need some type of degree to get through this. Now, speaking with Finder, Seagate's country manager for Australia and New Zealand, Jeff Park, confirmed that the FireCuda 530 will work inside PS5. Quote, "We have done some testing with Sony on the PlayStation 5, and today we can confirm that the FireCuda 530 with the heatsink has met all the PS5 requirements," he stated. With the PS5 design, the SSD card slot is very narrow, so there's not much room for the SSD to mount. However, with the FireCuda 530, with the heatsink on the top, the slim design allows for it to fit. Park also added that, of course, the FireCuda 530 without the heatsink is slimmer, so both of them will fit into the PlayStation 5. However, Sony has stressed its recently posted support page that anyone installing an internal SSD will need to attach their own cooling structure, such as a heatsink, and the whole structure will need to fit within a 110 by 25 by 11.25 millimeter space. Now, the only current solution for expanding the Xbox Series X/S SSD storage is Seagate's bespoke storage expansion card which launched for $219 for 1 terabyte. So you're actually getting a better deal than this right here, because this is $274.99 for 1 terabyte, whereas Microsoft's is cheaper with that $220 price point. And if you have an Xbox Series X, you actually get more storage space out of there than the PlayStation 5. So let's talk about this. I want to just kind of rewind just a little bit back. The heat sink on top, like, what is this? Is this Mass Effect? Am I installing heat sinks? Is that what's going on here? Like, we're getting to the point to where I'm saying, like, legitimately, I'm out. Now, I haven't talked about this too much, but if you've been on my live streams or if you've been on my Twitter account, I've discussed how while I do enjoy my PlayStation 5, mainly playing PlayStation 4 games, but I enjoy my PlayStation 5, but this whole $70 games, like, I purchased Returnal, and I don't think that's worth $70 for me personally. For other people, yes, maybe, but I didn't see where I'm spending the extra $10 for it. I didn't understand where that extra 10 is coming from, considering how short the game is and how the game doesn't even have a save system at this point, and it still doesn't, you know? So yeah, that's like a thing. So I kind of just said, okay, let me try to experience a PlayStation 5 exclusive for my purchase that because I was gonna buy it anyway because I review games and all that, so I wanted to get one. And then Ratchet and Clank was coming. I was like, okay, this is the big graphics, this is, you know, the big game, it's Insomniac, and while the game's great, I didn't really experience anything that, to me at least, outside of, oh, better graphics for this extra 10. Maybe the fast loading speeds, but that to me isn't worth, like, oh my gosh, this is like the next generation, it's like the craziest thing. It's just not, you know. So $140 plus tax with these two games, and now we have expandable storage when it comes here that, you know, obviously it's not going to be super cheap, but now you're talking about installing heat sinks, and now you're talking about how there's only going to be certain ones, which we did know about that, but now it's kind of coming into fruition exactly what's going to be happening. I don't want to follow completely crazy detailed instructions for simply putting together some extra storage on PlayStation. You know, like, I don't need to do all that. Like, it's not that serious. Now, I'll still check out some of the games when they come out, but I don't think I'm going to be rushing out and purchasing PlayStation 5 games. I don't think I'm going to be rushing out even to buy like the first party games, because Returnal already went on sale, and I'm pretty sure Ratchet will be on sale later in the year. Maybe we'll see. I know Sony's going to try to keep those prices as close as possible. Like, the days of, you know, $15, $20 games after like a few months on the market like they did with the PlayStation 4 are over, but you should still be able to get a few discounts here and there if you wait. So to me, I've got to say, I think I'm out. This is just getting to the point where I think it's a little bit ridiculous for what I want to do. Now, when I play other systems, when I play like my PlayStation 4 or PS5 backwards compatibility, whatever, or I play my Nintendo Switch to be specific, I feel like it's still a console. I feel that the stuff that I've been talking about, which I should probably just make a whole separate video on this, which I probably will, but the stuff that I've been talking about, how we've been losing, or at least the consoles have been losing their identity, and it's becoming more and more like PCs, which we all know that, but now it's getting to the point to where it's like, okay, now we're installing heat sinks on top of stuff, and I know it's probably not too hard. Like, I completely get that, so I'm not trying to make it seem like you have to have like rocket science, you know, degree or something like that. It's not like you have to be like a freaking doctor or engineer or something, but it's just something that I don't feel like doing. And even if you look at it with the Xbox or the Nintendo Switch, if you want extra storage with Switch, you go grab an SD card, which they're cheap. It's just memory, and you can use a bunch of different ones. You don't got to worry about any heat sinks. If you want some expandable storage for the Xbox platform, yes, it is the proprietary, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about heat sinks. You don't have to worry about different type of models and installing all this stuff. It's just the thing right there. You get it, you put it in, and it's good. It's almost like how the Xbox 360 was to the PlayStation 3, which the PlayStation 3 used hard drives if you wanted to expand outside of like the flash drives and all that, whereas Xbox just had that proprietary memory. You know, both expensive or can be expensive, but one's a lot easier to do than the other for the most part and for most people. So I'm looking at it like this, as in this is getting a bit too extra. It's getting a bit too much, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. I rather just grab a game, like I just got Neo, The World Ends With You. I just pop it in, do my update, whatever. I just play off of the actual game. It's a real game, it's a real cartridge. It runs off of there. I don't have to do any type of heat sinks or worry about installing everything to my hard drive. I can just play a game like it's supposed to be played, like back in the day when I first started playing like Atari or NES. You just put it in there, you play the game. But not at this point. It's just getting way too much like PC, which I'm not the biggest PC guy, but I like consoles because it's not PC, but now they're becoming too much like it at this point. So I think at this point going forward, I'll probably just use my Xbox Series for the third-party stuff and just play my Switch whenever the big Nintendo games come out, or like the third-party games like Bravely Default or like No More Heroes. But yeah, I'm out, man. I think I'm out after this. Like, I was already kind of out after the $70 games and playing them and just being like, I don't know about all this. But now I'm like super out. I'm like Audi 3000, you know? But anyway, what do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all the latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.